This is a lecture about pronouns in English. Pronouns comes from Latin. The word pronomen means instead of name. There are many different pronoun categories in English. We have personal, reflexive, possessive, demonstrative, interrogative, relative, exclamatory, and quantifying pronouns. And to start with the personal pronoun, personal pronoun refers to a noun phrase that's expected to be familiar to the speaker or listener, either because it's been mentioned before or because it's obvious from the context who or what we're talking about. We have 8 English personal pronouns in the subject forms, and those are I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. And 8 personal pronouns in the object form, me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. Note that when the pronoun functions as the subject, the object form is not generally accepted. We have the reflexive pronouns that refers back to the subject, could be either person or animal. That is the subject carrying out the action in the clause. It's formed by adding self to a singular personal pronoun and selves to a plural personal pronoun, as in myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, and the plurals ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Note that the impersonal reflexive pronoun oneself is only used together with one, in Swedish man, when you don't refer to a particular person, that is in a general sense. I'm wondering if it's really possible to kin oneself with one's hands, for example. Then we have the possessive pronouns, and as the name suggests, possessive pronouns are typically concerned with ownership of some kind. We have 2 types of possessive pronouns. We have dependent, which occur as determiners in a noun phrase, and independent ones that can stand on their own. The independent possessive pronouns are as follows: mine, yours, hers, his. We don't have an it because it just is not used. Ours, yours, and theirs. The dependent possessive pronouns are my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their, and they are used when the subject of the clause is the owner. For example, Jim shook his head. It's Jim's head. Note the difference between Jim hit the burglar on the head. It means that it wasn't Jim's head, it was the burglar's head. And then we have the head instead of his head. Dependent possessive pronouns are also used when the predicate is in active form. We have the example Jane bit her lip. Jane is active in the clause, but Jane was bit on the lip, then Jane is passive in the clause, and you see that we don't have her, we have the. And then we have the demonstrative pronouns, which are 4 in English, and demonstrative comes from Latin demonstrare, which means point to. We have singular forms, this and that, and plural forms, these and those. The most central functions of demonstrative pronouns are to point to something that is near the speaker or writer, then of course you use this and these, or further away in space or time, that and those. And see the examples. This house looks pretty much the same as it did in 1978, or we don't have a Christmas tree this year. Interrogative pronouns are used in questions, and we have 5 to the number in English: who, whom, whose, which, and what. Which, what, and whose can occur either as determiners of noun phrases or as noun phrases themselves. A couple of examples. Which song from Queen 2 did Queen perform on the Magic Tour? And then we have which is a determiner. Or of these, which is your favorite type of music? And then which is the head of the clause. What in a sentence where it is a determiner? What song makes your heart melt? Or whose car is parked outside? Also determiner. And a sentence where whose is the head of the clause? Whose is this apartment? Who and whom can only function as the head of a noun phrase. For example, who is only used to refer to people, whereas what is mainly used about things and abstract entities. Who do you think you are, and what will you do when they come for you are 2 examples. It's important to make a distinction between which and what. Which is used when we have a limited set of items to choose from, and what is used when there is no such limited set. That means when there is an open choice. Examples of this is which is your favorite color, red or black, or what color is your passport. A relative pronoun, which means relative, comes from Latin realtio, meaning bringing back, and that refers to the head of the noun phrase in order to link the noun phrase and the relative clause. We have 6 of them in English: who, whom, whose, which, and what, which are only 5. Who is used about humans and animals, which is used about things and abstract entities. Who, whom, who is used when the relative pronoun functions as a subject, and whom is used when the relative pronoun functions as the object. The 6th relative pronoun is, of course, that, which could be interchangeable with which. The last set of pronouns that I'm going to talk about is the exclamatory pronouns, what and such. What is used when you in Swedish want to talk about så, sådant, sådana, usually used in exclamations, such as what a rude remark, what silly questions, or what heavy traffic. Note that there is no article before the uncountable nouns, such as traffic or such means the same thing, but it's used in other cases when you don't exclamate, such as he made such a rude remark. You shouldn't ask such questions, or I had never experienced such heavy traffic before. As you see, what and such can be used the same way. And that ends this lecture about pronouns.